What up traders, what up investors, Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and we're going to be looking at the overall jets or all the airline stocks. So if you haven't seen it, the Boeing CEO David Calhoun the other day said something that really upset quite a few of the airline executives, saying one of the major US airlines will be going out of business. Something will happen when September comes around. He said on the Today Show, traffic levels will not near back 100. They won't even be back to 25. Maybe by the end of the year they'll approach 50%. So this is the newer CEO at BA saying that the guy who produces, which is 50% of his business, producing jets to commercial airline companies, is saying like there's going to be a company that's going to fall under, and basically just stabbing all his customers in the back for some really strange reason. There's some later articles coming out about how he didn't mean it in such a negative way. But that being said, these words were said, the effects were set. This is on top of the Oracle of Omaha slapping a big old sell rating on his positions on getting out. So everything, again, we can look at jets. So again, this is on the daily chart, well below the 21, well below the 200 exponential moving average. We are still heading slightly lower. We nearly touched the tippy tip bottom today, kind of bouncing off basically around $12. Still not really looking pretty. We can kind of give this a little bit of, give you a larger perspective here on the basically down trough of falling out of the sky, what it looks like. And this is basically what it looks like. Is this a group to buy and invest in? I don't even know at this point. Like, it's so beaten up. I think maybe a starter position, but there's just too much negativity out there, which is probably a good sign to look at getting into some of these, honestly. But I was in Delta for a little bit, got out of it, basically breaking even, and then it sold off some more. But when we're talking about these airlines trying to come back, even with the economy slowly starting up and things like that, it's going to be, you got the Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett. You got the guy who produces the jets for the companies saying that one's going to fail and business is going to basically suck for the next year, maybe to 18 months. Not looking the most positive outlook. If you're a long-term investor, yes, we're going to need commercial jets to travel around. But which one do you buy? Do you look into Delta? Delta and United were one of my two favorite, honestly, looking at the chart. Now we're trading at $17 here. This is a buying opportunity. I don't know. We can look here on the weekly chart for this one here. It did hit its on the RSI on the low band here on oversold. Basically, this one it hit 19 or below 20. Even with a horrible quarter, the government has put in so much money into these airline stocks, it's going to completely dilute them, and we just need to get more information on how the different phases between different states and countries are going to start happening. A lot of people don't even want to travel because a lot of countries outside the United States have a 14-day quarantine once you enter the country from the outside, and that kind of just your vacation goes to zero. So it's going to be very telling the next couple weeks. So this is not going to be, I don't think airlines are going to just be able to jump up to where they were, even 50% where it was last year, due to the fact of the things that we mentioned. I think there could be potentially more downside. Kind of give you a larger perspective, we can go to a monthly chart here. We're basically trading the lows that Delta was trading in basically of 2013 May. So all those gains and all that stuff just totally got obliterated. Of course, they're not paying a dividend. None of them are. But I think once this kind of starts coming off a little bit on the monthly chart, this is kind of the chart you're going to have to be looking at a majority of these. If this does touch the RSI on the monthly chart, again, my RSI is slightly different. We do the 80-20, not the 70-30. So if this hits the 20 marker, that would be, you can put a starter position in, do 10 or 15% of the size that you want to put into. So this is actually going to be something that we'll be keeping an eye on. Again, this could just trade sideways for a little bit, but again, I think it's basically just sitting on your hands and waiting. They all really look the same. So if you look at this one, that we can look at LUV, which is Southwest, basically all hitting an all-time low. We have that. We have UAL, United, basically hitting near its low here, trading well below its 21 here, especially moving average. The 8 and 5 are nowhere near trying to curl up or even stop from sloping down. I'm kind of using this new volume zone oscillator down here. This is kind of signaling potentially further steep down again, looking at a higher volume pickup, because we're seeing even on this whole way down there wasn't much volume here because no one was like, we're not buying this. And then people are like, oh, it's kind of leveling off, let me buy it, these are great discounts, this is going to be fantastic, flights are going to come back. But now you're kind of seeing the opposite. Once Warren Buffett and the Berkshire Hathaway did their board meeting or their conference, it just kind of piqued everyone's interest again, and it just kind of let everyone sell out. And I kind of feel that just in that sense, it's honestly not yet again a buying opportunity. So if we look here on the monthly chart, again, this is not yet towards the RSI. Again, this is not the only signal I'm looking at. I'm also looking at the TTM squeeze here to see when this starts turning yellow. It's just been printing red. So potentially once this prints yellow on a monthly chart, this could be a potential turn with the combination of RSI being met and some of the moving averages kind of leveling off. But that being said, this is not a stock that you want to run out and buy and put all your money into, because again, it's just that it's been so beaten up. And I see that, I think it was American Airlines is one of the #1 traded companies on Robinhood due to the fact of its very low ticker price of basically $9. I mean, a lot of them were like 20, 30. Again, they're not that much significant, but that being said, it's just been trending lower, a lot of these charts. Just be super careful out there. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. If you're buying calls, make sure you give yourself plenty of time for them to mature and come into expiration. Just don't buy weeklies and potential for a quick bounce, because yes, anything could happen. We don't have a crystal ball, but that being said, this is just so much negative aspect behind the overall airline business as a whole, and travel and leisure. There's just so many unanswered questions out there that we can't quite comprehend and put a money target on quite yet, due to the fact of what the charts are saying. The charts are saying potentially going lower prices or just trading sideways. There's no significant strength in any of these indicators or anything on the charts saying that, hey, please buy me. Hey, Ken, please back up the truck. Hey, Ken, please buy some calls, and we'll have some fun here. That being said, if you want to nibble, it's always okay to nibble, right? There's a little nibbly, but just do a super small size, like 5% of whatever you wanted to put in. If you want to put $1,000 in, buy 2 or 3 shares, because this is going to be, well, a little bit more with American Airlines, but it's gonna be it's a rough road ahead, and there's a lot of unknowns. So just be super diligent out there on watching what is the. I wanted to look at United again. Sorry, UAL. I like this one, to be quite honest. It's the best. It's kind of been. Again, they all are trading the same, but this one hasn't just broken below its low of low, being that dramatic. Again, I think United has the larger fleet in the sense of flights, and then it has more of a broader between them and Delta. But actually, I like them and Delta of just having a more broader reach on the overall airline market, with Southwest just basically being North American bound flights, and looking at that. With it, same with American Airlines, does more. I think they do. I don't know actually about a lot of the American Airline flights, because I've actually never flown them. But Delta or United's going to have your more of an aspect of the overall threshold of the market of leisure, travel, business, commercial airline business in a sense. I'm going to be actually putting a marker here. So if this breaks this might be a potential buying opportunity. Again, do super small size. I normally do enjoy swing trades. I do like long-term investing. That's what got me started into this fun stuff. But that being said, I don't want to put my capital and let it sit there for 4, 5, 6 months doing absolutely nothing. I kind of need to kind of get it up and moving. I don't like to see things kind of just tread water. I like to see things grow. I like to see things to go up, and I like to see things that are innovative. That being said, that's basically none of the airline stuff right now. That being said, don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. We do have a fantastic Discord chat that's going to be in the description down below. We also are going to have a Patreon there as well if you want to help support the channel with some awesome benefits, looking at some member-only videos, to sharing of a watch list, to sharing of understanding the charts and different indicators. So definitely check that out. I do greatly appreciate. We also have one more thing this coming Sunday. We're gonna have our weekly stock talk, which is basically just talk about different ticker symbols, to what happened, what we can potentially see the coming week, talk about economic news, all that fun jazz, and just have a good time doing it. And that's going to be on Sunday around 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So love to see you guys out there. Again, this is Ken from the Dyslexic Investor, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.